I'm not exactly silent about my dislike for bad Christian movies. How about we actually talk about some good ones?
I think that is a great idea.
Greetings and welcome to another episode of Catholicism and Coffee. I am Stephen Gasinski.
I am Beth Kaczynski.
We talk about Catholicism, all things Catholic, and enjoy some great brews. Today we're going to be talking about what makes a good Christian movie.
Yes. So first and foremost, it actually has to be Christian. It has to be true to our beliefs. You cannot take a Bible story and try to turn it into some new age something or rather.
Yeah, like making a great hero of the Bible an insane schizophrenic and have rock monsters for some weird reason. Yes, that actually happened. I'm watching you, Aronofsky.
All Christian films, any lessons or morals should be related to faith, related to Christianity.
Yes.
So let's go into this a little deeper because that's kind of a broad statement. So if you are basing your movie, your film on a true story, or you're watching something based on a true story, it should pay the appropriate homage to the basis. So there's many Christian films that are based on true stories. One, for example, that I saw many years ago is Heaven is for Real, which is not a Catholic film. I'm going to start by saying that. But there's a true story about a little boy who died for a few minutes and went to heaven and saw Jesus, and I believe he saw Mary, and he met like his grandfather and his sister who was miscarried. And now from the book to the movie, they changed some things for just pacing because it's hard to pack a book this thick into a movie that's an hour and a half, 2 hours long.
Yeah, I mean, there's always that, and there's a little bit of artistic license.
Oh, yes.
But you can't be too liberal about it.
Exactly, yes. So, but still in Heaven is for Real, the movie, the message from the book is captured.
Yeah.
And also, lots of movies or TV shows now are based on Bible stories. So if you have a movie that's based on the Bible, it needs to follow the story of the Bible. Now, some artistic liberties are okay, because there are things we don't know.
Yeah. Like relationships between characters who supposedly meet, but they have some kind of familiarity with one another, or the internal politics and such. It's best to, do your research. Have experts in Jewish politics or whatever of that time. Study various sources because there's a lot
Oh yes.
of material about
We are not starved for information in this day and age, so do your research and just do your best. There's going to be things that you miss. There's going to be mistakes. And we don't need to beat people up because, oh, you got this one little thing wrong.
Now, if they get a really big thing wrong, like John 6, you're allowed to, I think you can have a little bit, as a Catholic, I think I'm well within my rights to mock and berate them.
Yes. Or if they say, oh, Mary was imperfect, or oh, Mary sinned. No, this is wrong.
Yeah. One of the few times the Pope has actually spoken ex cathedra from the chair, so...
So now we've talked about kind of the theological aspect of Christian films. Let's talk about it from a film perspective. So we're going to bring in our expert filmmaker. He's sitting right here.
I'm not an expert filmmaker, but I can tell you what works and what doesn't.
Our in-house expert filmmaker.
Okay.
Who's the expert around here?
Yeah, okay, fine. First off, you need to follow to really do well with the elements of the craft of filmmaking. Direct well. Make your actors act well. Shoot it well. Now, are you going to have, a Wally Pfeifster type cinematographer? More than likely not. Are you going to have a Christopher Nolan level director? I don't know why I threw those two together because, well, they work together a lot. No, you're not. And that's okay. Are you going to have a John Williams or a Michael Giacchino level composer? Probably not. But you need to get people who are very good at their craft, who know what they're doing. Also, with your story, make it relatable. Make it enjoyable. If you have, go for the stupid stereotypes of, like, you have the bigger guy, you can make that work. But if it feels contrived, and you're just contriving it for contrivance sake, it's going to come out in your movie. Now people will say, oh, they just grab people and they're just really passionate about the film. Make sure you actually do it well. If you have a guy who can't act, direct him. If you have a gal who can't act, direct her. Play them against people who are better than them. If they're actually worth their salt in any manner or form, they're going to get better. I can say that from experience. I've directed a lot of people who had never, ever done a film or even a stage show. I got some pretty good performances out of them. I worked with actors who, as an actor myself, who hadn't done all that much work before, but they played against me and others who were actually really good, much better than I am, and you get great performances out of them. Don't slack in that department because of the message. Make your message actually, relatable and actually entertaining for audiences, because if you actually have a good film, your message is going to come through. But if you're lazy and a hack, people won't pay attention to you. They will mock you, and they should.
Drink your coffee now.
Yeah.
Yes. And all this to be said, you don't need to have all your A-list actors, the best director out there. Just be good enough where people are not distracted by, oh, the acting is terrible. Oh, the sound is really bad. Oh, this other thing was really bad. Because you're not going to enjoy the movie if they cannot be drawn into the world, into the film.
And that happens on both sides of the aisle.
Exactly.
Because if you're just so preachy on one side of the aisle or the other, whether you're Christian or you're a feminist or trying to push a LGBT whatnot story, it's going to take your audience out of it, and then they're not going to go see the films. Ask Hollywood. Ask Disney right now. They've had 7 flops in a row. Ask DC right now. They've had 6.
So movies should be entertaining, regardless of what kind of movies they are. Christian movies should still be entertaining. Now, that's not going to look the same as a superhero film or some live action whatever.
No.
But you can still tell a really good story, something heartfelt, something that draws people in, and be Christian and have a positive message.
Yeah. Now, what I like to call the Christian Hallmark films do have their place. They do have their place on the Hallmark Channel. Not a wide release where, all of a sudden, because they have a cheesy conversion scene, all is well. Everything's going to go great for them. No, it isn't. There are consequences for your actions or inactions. There's a particular film, I won't name it, but if you've watched the film, you'll know which one I'm talking about. Both the main characters are terrible people. One guy's addicted to pornography. And all of a sudden he gets this whole, it's basically a 2-hour ad for this course. His wife is considering having an affair with another man while she is married. And if you actually watch the deleted scenes of the movie, it turns out he's married too. So they're terrible people. And all of a sudden, because he took this course, he's now a great person. Yeah, maybe in a Hallmark film, maybe in a 2-hour made-for-TV commercial ad, for only 5 payments of $5.95. Don't, please, for the love of all that is holy, any Christian filmmakers out there watching this, please don't do that. It'll hurt your credibility, and you will be mocked and scorned by everyone. Now, there are some people who are into that, and that's fine, but you're gonna be preaching to the choir. No offense. And, I mean, yeah, the choir needs to be preached at, but you need to widen your message a little bit. Make a good movie.
And if you have a good movie, you're going to draw in a much larger audience. Because who's going to go see a movie that looks like just a Christian movie, nothing more? A Christians who probably have heard the same thing 10,000 times. If you have something that, oh, this looks like a great movie, this looks really entertaining, people will go see it, maybe ignoring the fact that it's a Christian movie, and then come away with this new message in their minds and hearts.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty amazing to me.
Yeah. If you've seen, and I mean, if you don't have something like a good trailer or something, it's going to turn people off. I will actually actively avoid a film if I think the trailer sucks. So get some marketing people who know what they're doing. And give them something to work with, please.
So, we talked a lot about Christian films. Let's talk about some ones that we like.
Sure.
What's your favorite?
I consider The Passion of the Christ the gold standard.
Yes. And that is a good movie.
It is an excellent film. It's one of the great things. I mean, yeah, you're not going to have this in every Christian movie, but you have an Academy Award-winning director. All the actors are excellent. I could not find a weak link in the cast.
And yes, it's telling the Jesus story, the crucifixion, a little bit of the resurrection at the very, very end.
Yeah.
And yes, it's a story we all know, but it also makes you think.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you understand in a way that you frankly cannot understand just from reading the Gospels over and over, because you have that visual element. And this is why filmmaking as a medium, or any kind of performance medium, can be so powerful.
It's brutal.
Yes, it is brutal.
And fun fact, Passion of the Christ was the highest grossing R-rated film until 2019. This came out in 2004. It still holds up. 15 years reigning as king of R-rated films in the box office. There's something there.
Yes.
So what's one that you really enjoy?
That's one I came across a few years ago called I Can Only Imagine, and yes, it's based on the song by Bart Millard, and it tells basically his life story and how he kind of got into music, and I don't know how true it is compared to his actual life story, but it's really interesting. It kind of shows someone being drawn to Christ.
Yep. Fun fact, also an Academy Award nominee in that film, with Gary Sinise playing his dad, and he's brilliant in the film. As I said, you're not going to get Academy Award winners in every single film, or nominees, or whatever, but it does not hurt your credibility. And that film did pretty decently in the box office as well, because it was a good story.
Yes. And now a lot of Christian films like Heaven is for Real, I Can Only Imagine, they've got a little bit of a cheesy factor. They are kind of feel-good, kind of heartfelt, but they still have a story to back all of that up.
Yeah, a little cheese is good.
Yes, I like cheese.
I like cheese too.
What's your favorite cheese?
Ooh, I'll have to get back to you on that. Probably
Okay.
cheddar.
Okay.
But if you're overloading it with cheese, now this may not be the case in baking, but if you're overloading your movie with cheese, it's going to turn people off, because they're going to be like, I'm full after 30 minutes. I don't care about this movie anymore. I don't care about these characters. Another one, now it's not necessarily a Christian film. It isn't. It has a lot of Christian elements in it, but it's not a Christian film. Nefarious came out a couple of years ago. It's a horror film. It's more psychological horror. It's not very gory. I highly recommend it. They don't have curse words all the time and such like that. I don't think it drops a single F-bomb, which is good, because that can be a little much. Would it have been appropriate if it came into there? Possibly. But it's a very well presented film. The two leads, who carry most of the movie, are both really good actors. One of them is an Emmy Award winner. But it's engaging. The direction is good. And both the directors are Catholic, so we have an unfair advantage. But and they wrote the script too. Now, they based it on a book, which they took a lot of artistic liberties with to make into a movie. If you've read the book, you can see why there was artistic liberties needed.
Yes.
But it came off really well. Another one. This one's based on a true story. Unplanned.
Yes.
Very. It's brutal in a couple of scenes.
Yeah.
But it's overall very well done. Now, I have some artistic issues with the film, but that's just me. There would be things I would do differently, but I wouldn't say it's a bad movie. It didn't take away me completely out of the film. It's just a artistic choice.
Yes, and the message comes across very strong, and you can tell from the beginning they're pushing a message of abortion is bad, which this is the truth. Abortion is bad, but the movie doesn't just tell you that and then go on with life. It tells you that and then it shows you why. It goes through the whole bloody, gory process and shows some really dark stuff and just some really demented stuff from people who are like, oh, abortion's good and we need it and it does blah, 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 blah. And then the growth of Abby Johnson and how she comes to change her beliefs and how her family and even her husband especially are feeling towards her and her work and just, but we want her to stop doing this. How do we make it stop? And there's some conflict, which any good story has conflict.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Let's talk about conflict in another film. Now, this was before the Nicolas Cage one that came out however many years ago. There was an early 2000s movie series called Left Behind series. They had 3 movies starring Kirk Cameron. Now, are they perfect movies? No. There were a lot of issues I have with it. But it was engaging. The actors overall were pretty good. It was a decent story. Some special effects were pretty good. They got a little full of themselves on a couple of points, the filmmakers. But you know what? What you gonna do? But overall, they weren't bad movies. We actually reviewed this film on our channel, The Nativity Story. Great movie.
Oh yeah.
And they took their time. They told a good story. You had some awesome actors doing good work. We're going to go a little outside because most of these films are pretty well known. Let's go a little bit earlier. Let's go back in the Wayback Machine. There's a movie called Joshua. Now, Joshua is the story of a man who comes down and he's like, what would Jesus seem like in the modern day? There's a powerful scene in the movie. I don't remember the exact time point. I saw this when I was a kid. And in the film, there's one point Joshua goes to this tent revival with one of these televangelist type preachers who's a total phony. And he's, performing miracles. And there's this one woman and she's trying, and the guy's about to heal one of the plants in his audience. And there's this woman who believes, her faith is strong, and she believes, oh, if he'll help me, I'll be healed. Joshua goes and heals her, stops the whole thing, and he looks at the preacher and he says, why are you doing this? You could have done something, but you chose this. So basically, stop being a shyster. You could have been actually really effective. And it's a beautiful moment. And, I mean, does it have feel-good moments? It's very heartfelt. Yeah, there's actually some beautiful moments with, there are these 2 priests who are in the film, and they're both brilliant actors. One of them, the Oscar winner I mentioned, F. Murray Abraham. And Kirk Fuller, I believe the gentleman's name is, who plays the other priest. Brilliant scene, really well done. And has some... Does everybody go back to the way things were? Yeah, but they're affected. Are there cheesy conversion scenes? I don't remember any. I hope there isn't, because that would tarnish the film for me. But you have to be able to tell some harsh truths in your film. But don't be preachy.
Yes. So we've talked a lot about Christian films from a more creative perspective. How should we think of them from an audience perspective?
Well, we've talked about this from the audience perspective a little bit, in the fact that if you're enthralled, if you have characters that you can really relate to or really care about, yeah, I mean, didn't you feel for Jesus in the Passion of the Christ?
Oh yes.
Beaten and literally torn to shreds.
Yes.
In certain scenes. Lots of fun stories about that movie. What happened to good old Jim Caviezel? Almost killed him.
Yeah.
But still, there's a lot going on in these films, and you need to be able to be drawn in. And that's what makes the best movies. If you're going to the theater to go see a movie, I mean, yeah, our homes usually have better home theaters than some cinemas these days. But if you're not, it's an experience. That's why I love going to the movies when I can. You need to have that innermost experience and really absorb yourself into the movie. And if you're not enthralled by characters or a story or something, and even a little thing will take you out of the movie, your audience is lost. And if you the audience are taken out of the movie and like by one little thing, it'll sour your experience, and you'll be like, I don't even want to see this movie again.
Yeah. But if you have one Christian movie maybe you're not a fan of, don't hold that against all Christian movies. If you see something advertised and it looks like a Christian movie, don't be turned off of it immediately.
No.
Now if you hear it's really good, go to the theater, support it, rent it on streaming, because we need good Christian movies.
We absolutely do.
And that's not saying that every movie you watch should be a Christian movie. I'm not going to watch nothing but Christian movies the rest of my life.
No.
But it's good to appreciate the Christian ones that we do have, especially the good ones.
Yeah. There are some films that actually do a better job of giving Christian-like messages better than most Christian movies. Like, there's a film that came out about 10 years ago that actually does a better job of talking about the manipulation of the male mind with pornography than any Christian film that we've ever seen. I'm going to say it. Now, do they come to the right conclusions? No. But they do a better job. And the consequences of those actions and how it can mess you up.
That reminds me of a great little project we've been working on.
Yeah. So we've been talking about this for weeks now, and you're probably really tired of it, but deal with it. We'll stop talking about it when we're ready with the project.
No, we won't. We'll never stop talking about it.
No, we won't. So we've been working on talking about Catholic virtues or beliefs in various films, but we don't go to any Christian movies. Funny enough.
Unless you count Doubt as a Christian movie, which it sort of is.
It edges on it.
Yes.
But again, a really good film.
So, yes, we told you what one of the films we analyze is.
Yeah. So you need to consider, so if you would like, take a look at our course when we premiere. We'll drop the commercial. Don't worry, it's not 2 hours long. That's not crap. 2 hour long infomercial. We'll drop our little infomercial at the end. And you can check it out when we release it.
It should be coming out in about a month, God willing.
Give or take, yeah. We'll let you know when it's out.
You will know.
You will know. We will make sure you know.
Yes. We put a lot of time into this. We're really excited about it. We're really passionate about it, and we've worked really hard. And we're really, really looking forward to seeing it all come together.
Yeah. Lots of man hours.
Yes.
Lots of man hours between the two of us, because sometimes we work together on some aspects and other times we're working separate. So
yes.
But it'll be worth it, and we hope you think it'll be worth it too, and check it out. In the meantime, be bold, be brave, be courageous. God bless. Is there nothing to watch anymore? Oh, for the love of all that is holy. No. Oh, no.
Are you struggling to find something to watch?
Gee, what gave you that idea?
You've been scrolling through quite some time. Talk about how terrible everything is.
Well, can you blame me? They can't even tell if a boy's a boy, a girl's a girl, and the morality in these films is all screwed up. Bad guys are good guys are bad. What is this nonsense?
You know, if you look, you can actually find a lot of good things in movies, even today's movies.
Do you have a special search engine or something? I am not taking one of those, filter everything out. We tried that.
No search engine, no filters. But you can check out Catholicism and Coffee's upcoming course, Morality in Movies.
Those two characters who talk about Catholicism all day, don't they have something better to do?
They like movies, I heard.
Actually, that actually doesn't sound too bad. So, where can I find this? Well, when is it coming out?
It's going to be on their website later this year.
Oh, okay. That actually doesn't sound too terrible. I hope they're not just doing Christian movies and stuff like that.
Oh no, not at all. They're doing all kinds of movies. Lots of different genres, different eras. They've got Star Wars, Harry Potter, Pixar, superheroes, all kinds of good stuff.
I guess I'll check that out.
I think you should.
So there you have it, there you are. We are actually delving into movie criticism.
From a Catholic point of view.
Absolutely, and we're going to be talking about all kinds of multiple movies over multiple genres. It's very exciting. You may have just with Beth, you may have some just with me, and there are a couple that we actually do together.
Yes.
So, check out our Morality in Movies that Catholicism and Coffee is proudly presenting, and we hope you actually enjoy these. You can pick and choose of the different movies or the different genres. We have some package deals. We'll have all that worked out for you, and you'll get to see all of that on our website, which will be linked in this video.
So stay tuned for more.
God bless.